Good morning to you. How are you? So far, so good. Thank you. Pappy Melon, how are you? Thank you, E. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for stopping by this morning. I know I usually stream in the late afternoons, early evenings, but I thought I'd give morning a try. See who's around. Okay, you know, I'll just saw Phoebe stretch out and shake out and leave the room. Thank you, Pappy Melon. Hey, K-Dog, what's happening? How you doing, man? Hey, Jose, how are ya? Uzmechk. Gives it a different texture, but also sucks the it sucks some of the grit away. Even though some tremolos have a tendency to sort of overdrive or distort your signal, Sometimes they inherently take away tone too, and it just goes with the territory. Hey Amos, how are you, my friend? I didn't really do anything there. I just flipped a switch on my amp, which changed the frequency, realistically speaking, to more of a Vox top boost kind of a thing. It's just adding more dBs. It's giving it a sense of a boost. As opposed to like when it's normally voiced. If you've ever wondered that about an amplifier, why there's a low and a high input, the high input is higher output and the lower is lower output, and it's usually a negative dB. So that, you know, if you wanted to play quieter at home, per se, you'd plug into the low. There's a lot of times where I go into low input here in the house versus high. When I play for the streams, I go into high. Pappy Melon, I'm in just standard A440 tuning. Yeah, it's a tube amplifier that I'm talking about, yeah. It's a hand-wired boutique amplifier. It's a Swart amp, S-W-A-R-T. You can find them online at swartamps.com. But it's like comparable to like getting a Fender hand-wired amp. You know, you're talking about the same amount of money. But I would buy the Swart, personally speaking. I've used boutique hand-wired amps for a very long time because they're touch sensitive in the way that you play is what you hear. So ultimately, it's supposed to make you a better player, or you know, it'll keep you from being a less shitty player, however you want to look at it. Thank you, Amos. Yeah, well, I mean, so depending on how much pressure I put on or don't, or the harder I dig in, the louder it becomes, the more aggressive it becomes. But the more I lay back with a softer touch, the amplifier reflects that. And that's what you get out of a hand-wired amplifier. It doesn't have to be a boutique amplifier. It could be a vintage Fender amp, you know, which would still be hand-wired because they were back then. I'm not using any pedals right now, TJ. Wah-wah? You get the same response out of any pickup through this kind of amplifier. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. The results would be the same. If it was a humbucker, a single coil, I mean this is a single coil, but like a Strat or a Telly, it wouldn't matter. the results through the amplifier, because of my playing style, would be the same. If you were playing through a printed circuit board amp, PCB, which is very like all your Fender Reissue amps, your Princeton reverbs, your deluxe reverbs, your super reverbs, your twin reverbs, just those all like blackface Fender Reissue amps, those are all printed circuit board amplifiers, which means they're run through machines and they're soldering machines. It's not done by a human being sitting there going from one solder joint to another by hand. They're run through a machine and assembly line. So essentially what you're getting is, yeah, they sound good. They're more forgiving. They're more forgiving in the sense of like, if you fuck up, it won't come through as much, or it'll be just more forgiving in the way that you fuck up when you fuck up. It won't be as pronounced as it will be through a hand-wired amp when you make a mistake. Let me put it to you like that. That's just what I hear. It has nothing to, TJ, it has nothing to do with being correct or being incorrect. But those, I mean, that's what I've come to learn and know in my years of playing with so many different amplifiers. You know, I've had the privilege to own a lot of different amplifiers. Well, my first tube amp was a Mesa Boogie Mark IV, which was back in 1993. I was 21 years old, and I thought that was a good deal because it was a channel switching amplifier. I spent more time fucking around with the knobs on that amplifier than playing, and it drove me insane. I got rid of it once Marshall reissued the 50-watt Plexi, and Vox reissued the AC30 Top Boost, which were both hand-wired amps. And they were amazing. And I bought a vintage Fender Deluxe Reverb. It was a 70s silver face. Very, very like anemic sounding. Very thin, very harsh. At the time, I thought it sounded good for like all my kind of Fender, like really clean shit. Then my ear got more acute, and I wanted something like more precise and more well defined. So I started tuning into smaller builders. This would have been about like 1996. And a friend of mine had a Matchless Clubman 35 that he brought over to jam one time. I was like, what the fuck is that? It lit up. I was like, holy crap. I didn't get it at first, and then I think a couple months later I went and saw the Black Crowes in concert, and they were all playing Clubman 35s. And I was just like, wow, that sounds amazing. And when I went back home after the Black Crowes concerts were in LA, and I was living still in Scottsdale, Arizona at the time, I went into my local shop because they actually sold Matchless. They were a dealer, and I ordered a Clubman 35. I also started tuning, and a friend of mine told me about Victoria amplifiers, and I bought a Tweed Deluxe with a Vox Blue in it. Sick amplifier, really loud. I didn't appreciate it at the time. Thank you, TJ. I appreciate that. I still own a Victoria, but I've been playing Swartz for, I want to say, over like 12, 13 years, 14 years now, something like that. Well, yeah, something like that. Hey, Cookie, how are ya? Anybody have any guitar gear related questions this morning? I'm good, Cookie. How are you? Good? All right. Alright guys, I think I'm going to bug out for this morning. But you have a good rest of your day. I'll try and come back for my normal hour stream later this afternoon, early evening. Alright? Peace out guys. Be cool. Have a good afternoon.